is an important day for Bobby Allison, offering a chance to win a third Daytona 500.
How many times have you watched this, do you know? Is it like 2 or 3, or is it 20?
Have I watched
this particular race?
Probably 5 or 6. Early on, I would put it in, and it would annoy me that I couldn't remember it, and I wouldn't watch the whole thing sometimes, you know. But later on,
now you're not expecting to remember it, so you just let it sort of...
Well, I'm still hoping it'll come back.
Yeah.
What do you mean, hoping?
Well, see, in my recovery, there were so many times when I was completely lost on a particular subject, and all of a sudden, the memory would just come back. You know, somebody would say something, you know, whether their comment triggered it or something going on, and I just remember something like I'd never forgot it, where 10 minutes before that, I couldn't have told you anything about it.
Was there a place on the track that you like to run as far as Daytona goes?
It changed, but I could really feel, you know, the part of the track that had good traction or, you know, was easier on the car. That was one of the good fortunes I had along the way, that I had a really excellent feel for the car. And
what is your emotion about not being able to?
Early on, it would really upset me. And like I said, you know, I'd put the tape in and watch 10 or 15 minutes and take it out and, you know, go do something else.
Frustrating.
What happened to change that?
Time. Just
acceptance.
I was going to say, did you just have to accept at some point that, you know, we got here, and anything extra we get is great.
And see, I would ignore it, because if I wasn't thinking about it, then it wasn't a real irritation. But if I was thinking about it, then it became an irritation quick.
Does it break your heart that he can't remember it?
No, not really. I mean, I can help him. I can remember.
You share it with him? Do you tell him the story a lot, or?
I just, you know, bring certain things to light to him and kind of help him, you know, get to certain points. You know, I mean, I can't help him remember in the car and what everything was going on or anything like that.
Does it feel like you're watching you, or like you're just watching somebody else when you're watching this?
Seems like I'm watching somebody else.
Were restarts at all tricky here?
Back in those days, see, the cars in the lead lap were in the outside lane. And the cars lap down were inside. And I usually was pretty comfortable that whoever it was there, you know, if I was leading,
he could give you some room.
Maintain the lead. When they did get together and draft up and catch me, they could get by me, but then I could get right back by them.
I see. So it wasn't like you were going straight to the back or anything. Yeah.
I read somewhere that you do remember that particular fishing tournament?
Yes, I do. I don't remember the race, but I remember the party at Park Seafood Restaurant. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you remember about it? You just remember that it happened, or do you have a specific?
Remember? No, it was a big hoorah party.
You remember going to Richmond?
Remember leaving Richmond? Yeah. I don't remember racing at Richmond.
It's almost like your racing memories are in a certain, a different part.
Yeah. Yeah, see, my oldest sister, Claire, was living in Fort Myers. And on that Friday, her doctor had called me and said, "You need to come tell your sister she's dying."
She wouldn't accept it from nobody but her brother.
You communicate with her the best of anybody in the family. You gotta come to us. I'll get there Monday. Tuesday, we flew the experimental Aerostar that I had changed the engines on. That one right there.
Oh, wow.
See, I love that airplane.
That is cool looking.
I had 9 of those things.
9?
Oh, really?
I took delivery of my brand new 1984 one on the grass in the tri-oval after the 125.
Oh, really?
In 1984. And I won the race and came out of Victory Lane and took delivery of my new airplane. Taxied around to the back straightaway, called my buddy in Daytona Tower, and got clearance to take off, and took off, and then came back and landed on the airport.
Oh, my gosh.
You took off from the infield?
On the back straightaway.
What do you think of how you're running when you see it? Can you see what your car's doing? Can you tell by its attitude on the track?
And I'm confident that the car was going exactly where I wanted it to go. even without having a direct memory of it, I know my attitude was that I was a fanatic on having the chassis adjustment just exactly like I wanted it. And I said a while back that I didn't do air pressure, but I did do tire size. I really was particular about that, and would talk to the guys. It feels like the left rear is too big or too little. And in those days, every restart was the fast car. The lead lap cars were in the outside lane, and the cars lap down were in the inside lane. So you might have a guy that had gotten behind through a mishap or whatever that was really a fast car in the bottom. So you had that.
You weren't necessarily just going to blow right past them.
Yeah.
I still want to say, get up there, get up there, Get up there.
See that emotion we're feeling?
Yeah. See, I'm halfway
Even
sitting here on the edge of my
watching
seat.
it,
I'm getting anxious
it,
here, yeah.
He don't have that. We all have it,
Yeah.
but he don't have it.
You don't feel that tension?
Really? Okay.
So you're completely disconnected from that guy sitting in that car right there.
Well, not completely disconnected, but I know that I did win the race.
Okay.
And so the particulars of how that came to a conclusion don't stir up any emotions in me.
Do you want him to win?
That
guy in that 12 car? He's pretty good, I hear.
Movie actor that looks like me, yes, I want him to win.
So you're nervous watching this?
I'm anxious.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I want him to win first and second. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat.
So if you're in the lead at this point, are you just wondering when the guy in second's going to try to get by you?
That was always the routine, and the lead was always the worst place to be at that track.
Right.
But see, the restrictor plate changed that. And the idea that we had the car really going around the racetrack, top or bottom, wherever, and that I could maneuver the car that day, had me confident that I could lead. I'm sure of that.
Bobby Allison, not relinquishing anything to his father, stays right within Judy Allison, looking on as her husband and her son battle it out in a $1.5 million American race. Out of turn number 4. Here's Bobby Allison, the 2-time champion.
When it's the two of you, you kind of want to... Is there any feeling, do you think, of, well, if I can't win it, I want him to win it. So I'm going to make my move so that... Doesn't matter.
No.
Bobby Allison coming after his father. Looks down inside as they take it high in turn number 2.
You did know it was Davey chasing. Well, I guess you probably can't remember. Do you think you knew that it was Davey chasing? Would you have been aware?
No. I knew. I knew where he was. I knew where a lot of other people were, too.
Back straight away, final time to decide it all here this afternoon. Now, Davey, what are you going to do? He's got less than half a lap to do. And they have enough lead that I believe it's just going to be a battle between the father and son.
He's going for it.
Here he comes.
He's going for it.
He's down low. Bobby Allison high. Davey Allison trying the inside low. Bobby Allison holds him off. They come to the stripe. And the winner of the 30th annual.
He did it.
All right.
Did it again.
Yes.
Bobby Allison, 3 Daytona 500s and a father-son finish. Oh, man, I'll tell you, this Devola Brothers Miller Buick really ran good. I'm telling you, Mike. What a thrill for me. What a thrill. My parents are a real inspiration to me. And I'll tell you, it's just been a great day. Your sister watching at home, lying ill, your son right behind you and riding alongside on that victory lap. What could be better than this? I'll tell you, that was great. And Davey did such a great job, especially after getting the car wrecked so bad yesterday at the end of practice. I'll tell you, Davey did a great job. And so did you. Congratulations, Bobby Allison.
So what do you think? Seeing yourself say that? And
That's pretty neat. That's really... I'm sure that I felt that good about things, and it's just really neat to see it on the screen there.
I imagine that if you could pick, you would pick Victory Lane. If you could only have 5 minutes from that day, it would be the 5 minutes in Victory Lane when the two of you are dumping beer on each other, but that's just a guess. Am I right or wrong?
That, I hadn't even thought about it like that, but yeah, that would be a neat memory.
Especially Davey pouring it on you.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Were you standing right there?
Yeah, I was right there.